Hey everybody, today we're going to be doing another Unity tutorial. This is part one of a three-part series on adding a menu. I know I said that I was going to be doing one video every week, and I'm still planning on doing that, but this is going to be, I'm going to be uploading a menu episode for 3 days this week. It's going to be this video, which is Sunday, and tomorrow, and the day after that, so Sunday, Saturday, and Monday at 12 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to be uploading a video on the menus. So today I'm going to be doing a pause menu. So hope you guys enjoy. What we did last video was we added a door. And if we went up to the door and pressed E, it would enter us into the next scene. And same thing if we went back through it, it would load us into this scene. But if I went to the door and then made is locked enabled, now we can't enter the door. So let's add a pause menu. So to add a menu, we have to create a UI canvas, and the canvas is what stores our UI components. And then in this, we're going to create a UI panel, and this is going to be a menu background. So what we're going to do is make it to where it is going to be black, and we're going to make it mostly faded out, because this is what it normally looks like. So we're going to make it, I don't know, maybe about there. So normally we're playing, it's going to look like that, but then when we activate the menu, it's going to fade out like that. I'll make just a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to create a UI text first, and I'm going to put this up at the top. I'm going to rename it to being paused, and I'm going to make the font size, well, I'm going to make the actual thing bigger, and then the font size can be 50. We'll move it in the middle, up, center it along both alignments, and then I'm gonna change the color to make it being more solid, like that. Now I'm gonna anchor it to the top, so then when we play, it'll stay at the top. And I'm gonna rename it to saying paused. Then within this panel, I'm also gonna create a UI button component. And in this, I'm going to create 3 buttons. I'm just going to work with this one first so I can just duplicate it. This button is going to be the resume button. And then within the resume button, the text is going to say resume. Then I'm going to make the button bigger, like that. Center it, put a little bit up, anchor it to the top, and then top center. And then make this font size, let's try 50 again, or maybe 40, 45, that'll work. And then I'm going to make the background of the resume be a little bit more faded out. So I'm going to do the normal color of it being more faded out. So then I'm going to make the highlighted color be, so like, because how this works is there's the normal color, which is what it normally looks like, and then there's the highlighted, which is what it looks like when you highlight over it with your mouse cursor, and then the pressed color, which is when you actually pressed on it. So I'm going to make the text be a little bit more darker, make it be more solid, and then the resume, I'm going to have the highlighted color be the same as the normal color, except just a little bit less transparent, a little bit, yeah, and then the pressed color be the same, but even more. So it'll just get darker when you press on it. That'd be a little bit more. Now, and then I'm also going to need the navigation to be none. Now if you play, highlight over, resume, it looks like that, press on it, looks like that. Now I actually want the text to be more actual white, so you can see it better. And then I'm going to minimize this, and then I'm going to take resume, and I'm going to use Control D to duplicate it. I'm going to rename this to being options, and then I'm going to have this be, I'm going to actually have it be MainMenu. So now, I'm going to move this down, all three of both of these. I'm going to have this one down. So I have all 3 buttons. I'm going to make the text change to option, and then resume. I mean, not resume, but main menu. Now we have the 3 buttons. We have to actually make those do things, but first we need it to actually open up this menu when we press a certain button. So I'm going to go to the actual canvas. I'm going to rename it to Pausemenu. And I'm going to add a component. I'm going to add the text pause. I'm just going to name it pause. I'm going to create it. Now that we're in the script, I'm going to delete the start method. I'm going to delete this comment. Now, in this void update method, which update just means it updates once per frame, I am going to change it to if you input .get key. So press a certain key, and then I'm going to do the key code .escape. Then I'm going to have it to where if you press the escape key, I want it to enable a certain game object. So I'm going to do a public so you can see it in the components. I'm going to do the game object, and the game object I want to enable is the pause menu, so I'm just going to call it pause menu. Then if you press escape, I want the pause menu .SetActive, and I want it, and then do open and close parentheses. Then anything I put in these parentheses would be whether I want to enable or disable it, so true or false. I want it to enable it, so I'm going to do true. So now, if I save the script and then go out, and then in the pause, when it loads, I'm going to add the pause menu. I'm going to have the pause menu be disabled. And if I go into it, and then press escape, it does nothing. And I don't, oh wait, no, I know why. It's because I actually added the pause. So I'm actually going to, so I'm going to enable this. Then I'm going to add this to the player. So now I'm going to add the pause menu to this. I didn't even think of that, but then I'm going to make the pause menu be disabled. Now if I click play, then escape, it'll open up the pause menu. Now there is an important thing though. Obviously I can still move around and everything's still moving. And when you have a pause menu, you usually want it to, pause. So within the player pause, I'm going to add if you press escape, I'm going to basically pause the time. So I'm going to go into the time, and I'm going to go into the time scale. And then I'm going to make it equal, and this is where you need to know like the range and the scale. So if I did 1, that would be like normal time. If I did 0, that would be no time. And then anything between those would be, slowed down, and anything higher than 1 would be sped up. So I'm going to do 0 because I want there to be no time. Save the script, go out. Then when I click play, and escape, it should show up this, and I can't move around. And if I click, well, resume doesn't do anything, so I'm just right now, so I'm just going to go back out and back in. If I actually jump into the air, then press escape, then I'm paused in the midair. So now I'm going to go back into the script, and now I need to make it, so I'm actually going to create a new script in the pause menu. I'm going to call this, pause menu to have the button events. So I'm going to erase those, then press enter. Now to make a button event, don't need the update or the void. I need to add a public void, and this is what I want to name the button, so I'm just going to call it resume. And then I am going to open and close parentheses and open and close curly brackets. So now this is if I press the resume button, or if I press a button with the resume name, then it will do this line of code. And I'm going to do that for the public void options. I'm going to do the same for the public void main menu. So now if I press each of these buttons, this is whatever I put in this line of code is what's going to happen. So if I press resume, I basically want to do the opposite of this. So I want to make a reference to the pause menu. I want to paste it into here. And then I need to go down to resume, and then I want the pause menu with a, I need to name it right, .SetActive. And then I want it to be disabled, so I want it to be false. Then I want the time scale Time.timeScale to equal 1, which is normal time. Now if I save this, go out, now I need to actually make the resume name be on the actual button. So I need the pause menu to be the pause menu. Which means I actually should just be able, I actually don't need this reference. Because you can actually just go under this, then just do GameObject. Because that means the game object that the script is on, so that actually will eliminate this reference. And then if I go to the resume button, go down to the onClick event, and then add an event. Now whatever I put in this is whatever the script is on, so if the script was on the resume button, I would just drag the script into it, but since the script is on the pause menu, I would drag the pause menu into it. Then I want to go to this, go to the game object, or not game object, but go to the pause menu, and then go, as you can see, there's the buttons here, there's a resume, options, and the main menu. You want to go to resume. So now if I click play, if I jump and press escape, the game's paused. If I press resume, then it is re-enabled. So now I have to set up the other buttons. So with options, I actually want it to set up another thing. Now I have it disable and enable the pause menu, which is good, but if I want to add other things into here, I'm actually going to enable and disable the panel. So I'm going to remove the pause menu from here. I'm going to add it to the panel. And then I'm going to go into that. So now it'll enable and disable this game object. And then, but to enable that, I need to go back to the player, set up the pause menu as being this panel instead of being the pause menu. So now it'll enable and disable this. So that means this guy can enable, this I can disable. And then I want to take this panel and I want to duplicate it. I want to rename this to being options. And I'm going to rename this panel to being the pause. Then I'm going to have the options. I'm going to go into it and then delete these buttons. And then I'm going to rename this to being options. Then I'm going to have options then be enabled. So this is what the options menu looks like. And I'm just going to add a UI toggle, toggle, as one of the options. This is all I'm going to add. I'm not going to go into options too much. Put the toggle up here. I'm going to have it, you like that. I'm going to open it up and then make the actual label be, instead of being toggle, I'm going to have it be, let's just call it enabled, because I don't have anything set up yet. I'm going to add a thing in a minute here, but probably should have thought about that. But yeah, so this is a toggle, and that's pretty good. I'm going to actually see if I can, no, that's fine. So now I need to set it up to where this will be enabled and this will be disabled if you press the options button. So I need to go back into the script. And I'm going to set it to, I'm going to go back into the main menu. I'm going to set it up to where the game object, like if you press the options, the game object, since this is on that actually. So I'm going to make a reference. And this is going to be the options. And I'll make another reference. This is going to be pause. I actually need to rename this because that's the name of the void down there. And then I can have it to it in the options. I want the pause menu. .SetActive. And I want it to be disabled, so I'm going to do false. Then I'm going to do the options menu .SetActive. I'm going to have it be true. Then I want to actually make another button. And I want to be back. So then I'm going to do this, and then this. So now I want to add a back button. So I'm going to add a button to the options. I'm going to make it a UI button. I'm going to move it to the corner. Make it smaller. I want it to be anchored there. Then I want the button text to be back. Then I want the button to be named back button. So I want this button to do basically the opposite of when you go into the options menu. So I'm going to go to the script. Then I want the back to do the opposite. So I want I'm going to copy this, paste it down here. Then I'm going to have this one be true. Then I'm going to have this one be false. So now if I save this, go out. Now I need to set up the thing. So the options button, I need to first add the things to the menu. So I want the options to be the options, and the pause menu. Do the same thing for the options. The pause menu, and then go to the back button, and then set up an on-click event to do the back. So I want to add the options to it. Go to the functions, add the pause menu, and then go to back. Then I want to go to the options, set up an on-click event for the options button, the pause menu. So the options, I want to add an on-click event, be the pause menu, and then the options. So now if I minimize both of those, disable the options, then click play. Escape will set up this, resume, doesn't do anything now. Well, it should disable this game object. That's why, because I need to reset up the on-click event. So I need it to be the main menu. Pause menu, I need to be resume. So now if I click play, escape will open up the menu, resume will resume the game, options, we'll set up this options back, we'll set you back to this. So if I go to the options, there's this toggle that I can toggle on and off. I'll set up a line of code for that in a minute. Then this will send you back to that, and I need to set up the main menu. Now this is, I'm going to mess with scene management again. And the scene management, I'm going to have it load a certain scene. So I'm just going to go to this, I'm going to duplicate, or actually I already created a main menu. And I wanted to set you this to this. So in the script, I need to go to the main menu. I need to create a new using tag. And I need to be .scene management. Then I need, if you press the main menu button, I need to go into the scene manager. And I need to load a certain scene. And then in parentheses, this is the scene I want to load. I went over this in the last video. And I want it to load the scene with the name main menu. I'm going to save that, go out. And then set up the button, pause menu, the main menu. I want this to be the main menu. So that's all set up, and that should pretty much be it. I do want to set up this toggle too though, so I need to go into the options, go into this. Now this is going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm just going to do it in public void and then I want to do a public void. Then I want to do whatever I want to be called, so I want it to just be called toggle. Then I want it to be a bool, and then whatever I want to name this bool, so I want to name it toggle enabled. This is whatever's going to happen when I press the toggle. And let's just make it to where I'm just going to do the exact same when you press resume. Actually, no, because I wanted to, well, whatever you would put in here would do it. So let's just set up in the pause, let's just set up, in the pause menu, I'm going to create a UI text. I'm going to center these texts. I'm going to put this at the top. I'm going to rename this to toggle, make it a little bit bigger, center it, anchor it to the top. I'm going to rename this to being toggle. And then whenever you, and then I want it to enable, I want this to be enabled. So I need to make a reference to it. I need to do a public game object. And I need this to be toggle. Then I need the Toggle.SetActive to be the bool, so I want it to be toggle enabled. So basically the toggle will be whatever this bool is. I'm going to save, go out. Then I need to set up the toggle bool to being from the options, then being the toggle. Now I need to go to the pause menu, set up the toggle as being the text. Then I need the options to being the same, being the text. And there you go, that should be good. So now the toggle works, and that should be everything. So now if I click maximize, then click play, If I jump, then press escape, it'll open up the pause menu. Resume will re-enable it. Then if I press options, it'll open up this options menu. Enabled, if I disable this, obviously the toggle is gone. Enable, the toggle is there. So I can just disable this and the toggle is gone now. If I click resume, now the toggle's not there. And if I click main menu, it's going to take you back to the main menu. So, thanks for joining me for this video. Join me next time where I am going to be doing, well, join me tomorrow where I'm going to be doing the game over, probably. So, see ya.